Speaker.
I call the Honourable Parakura Horomia. Tēnā koe, Parakura.
Tēnā koe. Kia hiwara, kia hiwara. Kia hiwara ki tēnei take, kia hiwara ki tērā take. E ngā iwi e ngā waka kōrero i rungo ngā marae whakarongo. Whakarongo ki te tangi atu manu e karanga nei, tui ia. Tui runga, tui raro, tui roto, tui te re tangata karonga te pō. Tui te re tangata e takia mai ki waiki nui, ki waiki roa, ki waiki pāma mao. Ki hei mauri ora. E tautoko ti atu ngā mihi o tō tātou minita Māori i a koutou o Ngāti Whātua. Tēnā koutou. Tēnā koutou mō tō kaha i te tai atu i konei mo te rangi nei, te rangi pai. Ahakoa, e āhua iti atu te māwiwi o te matua, a grant e mihi koina, kia kaha kia mai. Tēnā no te āhua o te kareme ne mai rāno. E tū te tangata, e hinga te tangata. E gani nā te pakari, e mau kaha i roti a ngā uri, i te toto o koutou, e noho e whawhai tonu aki, mō tō wāhi i Orākei. E whakaaro atu mō rātou e kore e kone, pera ia tāhu, pera ia ngā whaia, e whawhai atu e Danny, mō hea tu koe, ngā karawa, ngā kuia, rātou e kore e kone. Te pai hoki kua tahi atu koutou i te manaaki. Ronga te ki te kōro i roti a rātou o Ngāti Manuhiri, mō te tata noiho, o te peka ana a tō rātou tupuna, ki te wāhi rā o narrow neck, ka whai atu. Engari mō koutou tēnā koutou. Mai te tupuranga o te tangata e whakaaro atu, ko koutou nake, te tangata whenua o tāmaki makaura. I nāi nei, ko ronga atu ki te nui o ngā ingoa o ngā iwi, e kāre koro o takahihia tēnei, engari tērā no te whakaaro i roti a. No reire mihi kāne a koutou, te tangata whenua o Orākei. A te whakaaro o te puta awaha te koro o te tātou minita Māori, mo te mahi kore take o ngā pirihimana, i reira ke au e kite atu. Te taumahatanga i roti a rātou, e wero atu ki a koutou. Nā te reka hoki mo te rangi nei, kua tae tata na ki tōti. Kua tae tata na ki tōti. E whakai atu te nui o tātou. Ahoa e peka na ki tērā taha o te rōpu kākari, au atu, mahi atu. E whakai atu tātou mō tēnei. E tino kaha atu te karawara a hiu, o tōna whakaaro. Haere atu, mai runga te tuhinga, e wero atu ki tau, e wero atu ki te kāwana, me te kōro o te koutou. No reire mihi atu ki a grant, ki a koutou ngā whānau katoa i reire. E tika atu i runga te tūnei i te mihi atu ki tō tātou tangata a hōhepa, a Joe. Te tangata e mau matatau ki tā aho o te whare nei. Mai rāno tōna kaha i te whai atu mo tēnei. No reira kia koutou, kia kaha kia mai. E rangi pai tēnei. Kaha kia grant, e tangata e tinana ti atu mō tēnei take. No reira, mā tō tātou matu e manaki atu te hainga o koutou katoa, me tō tātou kaiwhaka, tō tātou rangatira grant. Kia ora tātou. Mr. Speaker, in 1977 and 1978, there was some outrageous activity on behalf of the Crown through the police force, which just was unnecessary. And the great thing about Ngāti Whātua, Mr. Speaker, was that they decided by themselves, for themselves, not 1 inch more. And they stood up. They stood up and they held their ground. And today, if you go to the marae, you can look over the pristine sites and understand why Auckland continuously boasts about being the city of sails. And it is the scenic view that people who wanted to remove them, even as far as burning the marae down the bottom and moving the houses. We can look over in Syria and Israel and think, what a terrible thing they're doing. And that was a day, those were days of shame for this country, both for the government and both for the police force. And today that they have found their way here through the minister and other people to put things right is a great day. The other interesting thing about this, about Y1, Y9, Y13, they were some of the initial claims made under the treaty settlement process. And it is important to recognise not just their stance with Joe Hawke and everybody else, but also the way how they have managed their affairs. I mean affairs of business, not other affairs. Seems to be a fair bit of talk in the United States at the moment. But how they have managed their affairs. They got an allocation in 1993 and they built it into a sophisticated arm, a consolidated, recognised economic base that they utilise now. And that's not easy. And that's not easy. And I see in the summary of handbacks or properties made available that they can purchase back, and I know they will use some of their own money to purchase some of that back. That takes a lot of gumption. And the thing about Ngāti Whātua, having known them over a period of years, is that their governance structures that they have formed are a great example for other iwi in the sense of moving through. They've had their ups and downs. They've had their pitfalls. But I want to say to the nation, take a lesson of Ngāti Whātua on how you can go forward. Sure, it might be a bit wobbly, a bit like some of these finance companies or some of these other ones that wobble at the moment. But it's stable enough to suggest that Māori do know how to govern and to create a platform by them, for them. And future governance structures will be important to our people. Don't buy the models foisted on you by the legal fraternity or everybody else who wants to say, guess what, I've got a framework for you, copy this and you'll survive. Because there is a Māoriness that we have to ensure, and I know that Ngāti Whātua through their governance are leading and can continue to do that. We mustn't be ashamed of trying to design structures or corporate, if there's such a word, that entails the employment of our people, that makes sure that the benefits are for our people. I see a lot of it around the country. Maoris are great for buying an expert. They don't know what they're expert in, but because they've been told it, they buy them. And I know Ngāti Whātua has been through that. Trust yourself to do this. Future governance and those structures are really critical. You know, internationally, and well done in winning that cloud thing, or whatever it was, that rugby thing. Seeing you brought up rugby, if you want to sponsor the East Coast rugby team, I'll be very keen for you to do that. I thought I'd discuss it right now. But that's being Māori for Māori. We are the only regional team got the iwi brand on them. But Ngāti Whātua, I want to say to you seriously, it's a brave, heroic stand that you have taken. It is an incredible journey that you have made. And to be here today to celebrate it with you is something that we will remember for a long, long time. You've been there, you've done that. But please make sure, in the sense of your governance construct, or where you go to with purchasing assets, that you give our people the brace. Because you'll find a lot of new friends when you start going to this. And I want to say to the people of Narrowneck, and I can understand the frustration, because one of the worst things in society is the fear of not knowing. And when people don't know about something, they kick up a lot of humbug and ruckus. And those people in Narrowneck will understand that Ngāti Whātua will be great neighbours, and they won't strip them of their land, they won't strip them of their houses, or run them into the sea like they were. They will make sure that they fit into the society there. And I want to tell the people over that part of Auckland that they're damn lucky to get Ngāti Whātua to be there. and not entered there through a treaty settlement process.
Sorry to interrupt the honourable
but
member.
returning home
Time has expired.
by right, Mr. Speaker, and it is very, very important to recognise their right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Christopher